All right, welcome everyone. My name is Andres. This is the Baking Steel Test Kitchen. And you guys can take a quick spin. Boom, boom. Don't get out of it. My name is Andres. Today we are doing eggs on pizza. Bacon and egg pizza, actually. But then the subject is, how do I make eggs on pizza? It comes up a lot. And so we thought we have a few tips we want to share with you guys that we will go over today in the entirety. But first, I guess we'll get right into the eggs. We have found like the easiest way to pull off eggs on pizza is to actually sous vide your eggs first. If anybody's familiar with sous vide cooking, it's an immersion circulator that works in a water bath. And what we love about it is that you're able to cook your eggs in advance. And so when your pizza's done, you get the perfect color, you add your eggs at the end to whatever doneness that you would like. And that's really the simplest way if you have a sous vide circulator. So a lot of people don't. Another version, I guess you could poach your eggs first, which would be great. Again, cooking them ahead of time. You could soft boil them ahead of time. These are alternatives, but today what we're gonna do is actually bake the eggs on the pizza. And we're gonna show you exactly how we do that. And but first, we're gonna show you that. But first, we're gonna do today a bacon and egg pizza. And so the way we do that is, I've got some beautiful bacon. And there's a couple of different, oh, I lose your chef? I lost chef there. What is chef? Whoa. What's up, chef? You back? Awesome. All right. I lost you there. Can you hear me? Oh, cool. All right. So our bacon, there's two different schools of thought here. You could cook the bacon raw on the pizza first, or you could par cook it a little bit. I have found when we're baking our pizzas in like 3 minutes lately that we might want to pre-cook our bacon first. So I'm just gonna kind of sear it on my baking steel griddle over here first, and maybe for like a minute or two. I'm gonna try to get you guys a close-up. Actually, I'm gonna put the bacon on, I'm gonna get a close-up of my griddle. Literally, I've got it preheated already. I'm gonna cook this bad boy just for a minute or two aside, and I'll show you guys what I got going on. You guys see that okay? I got my skinny griddle on my stove top. That's the baking steel skinny griddle. And we're just kind of frying that bacon up just for a couple of minutes, just to give it a little bit of color first. It's gonna cook again when it's on the pizza. I got my son over here filming. D-Rock, watch out. That's awesome. We're gonna do the bacon first. I'm gonna sear it off quick. Then what I'll do, it smells really amazing, and I don't even eat bacon. After the bacon, we're gonna stretch and make out our pizza. All right, so let's flip this over. I might grab a clip. Yeah, I'll keep it thorough. Literally, it's almost done. I'm gonna cook this for like maybe 10 more seconds, pull it off, and our bacon will be ready for pizza. I might even want to chop it up, which we might do. You good on that? Yeah. You guys can see this, but I've kind of got it just seared enough. We got the edges kind of crispy, which is beautiful. Which will get us into next. I'll chop that up. Now let's make a pizza. I've got my oven preheating at 450. This is the Monogram oven. Shout out to those guys. It's awesome. 450. I've got baking steels. Obviously, a lot of baking steels. I've got one on the top shelf and one on the bottom shelf. We're going to use one steel today. I like multiple steels when we're making multiple pizzas at a time. But today we're just doing one. Egg is going to be interesting with just one steel, but not a problem. We do it all the time. So I guess it's gonna be bacon and eggs. I'm gonna use fresh mozzarella cheese, okay? And I've got my dough already kind of relaxed. It's our 72-hour dough, yoga dough. It's been proofing at room temperature for the last like hour and a half. So it's just about room temperature. This is all my mise en place. I'm using a secret ingredient, chopped parsley. This is obviously is not chopped. I've already chopped some. Bacon and fresh mozzarella. So it's a really simple, delicious breakfast. So think of it like toast and eggs all in one, right? You have your eggs and bacon on top of the toast, which in this case is delicious pizza dough. All right. So let's do this. As I make it, we'll get into some Q&A, probably more after. Craig will help us with that. But first, let's get to this. So pizza peel, I like to get this kind of prepped up ahead of time. The way I do that, I'm gonna bring my screen down here. I like to use a combination of a little bit of flour and semolina flour. Good. We're gonna pause for 1 second. Oh, that's all right. Let's do it by hand again. I like to use a combination of flour and semolina flour on my peel, and I literally just kind of dust it around afterwards. Those are my ball bearings. Once I get that set up, I'm gonna move it aside, because now I'm gonna talk about dough. And this dough it's literally a 3 or 4 day fermented dough, so those glutens are really relaxed. I'm gonna remove it from my container here, place it down in the flour, just flip it over once, and that's just to help so it doesn't stick, but the top is still the top, the oil's on the bottom. What I'm gonna do now is, want to get a close up of it, you good? Okay. I'm gonna lightly just press this out. You can see. And I'm gonna pick it up. And because this dough has been relaxed, but fermenting for 3 days, watch how easy it stretches. I'm just turning it like a steering wheel. I'm working on the perimeter, and literally gravity is doing all the work. Simple, just like my hands are just like this, and just turn it. In fact, I'm already stretched out to where I want it to be. It's small, but I like it this way. It's literally about a 10-inch pizza. It's 240 grams of dough. Look at those bubbles, are gorgeous, right? It's beautiful. You good on that still? Isn't that awesome? And now what I'll do is, before I do anything else, I'm gonna give this thing a little shake. This dough needs to be loose like a hockey puck, right? So it slides back and forth. And if it's not, then I'll just pick up whatever corner's giving me a hard time, and I'll just kind of throw some flour underneath it, okay? Just to kind of lube it up again, okay? There we go. I like this is about a 10-inch pizza. It's gonna puff up nice on our steel. Here's got a bench scraper. Clean up my mess a little bit. So now, a couple of things. I'm gonna take a quick detour because we talked about the eggs for a second. I've got my eggs here. I literally want to take a bowl, okay, and crack my eggs into a bowl, okay? Into a bowl. Oh, my yolk broke. This is a great example of why I'm doing this first, okay? If I cracked it and it broke on the pizza, that would suck. It would still work, but wouldn't be as beautiful as I want it to be. So since my yolk broke, I can cook this off and save it for later for something else. In my case, I'm just gonna start again, okay? These are pretty fresh farm eggs. I gotta be a little bit more careful when I'm breaking my yolk in here, right? Boom, and boom. I got it, did it that time. So my yolks are now fine, they're set. They didn't break, which is great. And now I can get back to my pizza. Okay, so the eggs will go aside. All right, back to the pizza. Now, the oven's been preheating at 450 because now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch it to broil. Boom and boom. Because it's at 450, that broiler is gonna kick on faster than if it was at 500. It's kind of like a little hack that we've developed because we're tricking the oven out. It's too intelligent. So by blasting it at 450 versus 500, when I turn the broiler on, it tends to go on faster than if I didn't, okay? Now this pizza is so simple, getting back to that, I'm literally just gonna take some fresh mozzarella, okay? And just kind of place it on. I'm gonna break it up, small pieces, okay? I'm gonna try to save a little bit of room towards the center because that's where I'm gonna be dropping my eggs mid-bake. Just a little bit more cheese. Not a lot, obviously, okay? Now I'm gonna do, before I do anything else, I'm gonna give this a little shake again. And then I'm gonna peek into my oven. My broiler is just about to kick on in a minute, and I'm gonna launch. Let's see, let's take a peek. Yes, the broiler is kicking in right now. So I'm gonna give this thing a launch now, give it one last final shake. Let you guys see this. All right, so back of my peel, the back of the steel, and I literally just shake it back and forth, slides right off. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is my timer is gonna be on about almost 2 minutes. I'm gonna do like 1 minute and 45 seconds. What? Oh, that's a second. Jeff, you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, great. So now at 1 minute and 45, I'm gonna take these eggs and drop them on the pizza, okay? And I'll get to that when I do that. We'll try to get a close up of it. It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna pour these on because the yolks are already intact. And then I'm gonna bake this pizza for maybe 90 to 2 more minutes and we'll be done. That's all it's gonna take. Hopefully at that point, the eggs are gonna set and the yolk won't be too firm. And that's a really delicate balance. How far do you wanna cook your eggs, your egg yolks, etc. So we found that after 2 minutes, the top crust should be just about done. And now we gotta time it really well because we want the eggs to cook and the pizza to finish. So we found about midway seems to be the magic number for us. This is my first attempt. It's my only dough today. So we really living on the edge.
When are you putting the bacon on?
Oh, geez, you know what? Right now, it's a good question. How did I forget the bacon? Thanks, Chef. Live, and we forgot the bacon. So I'm just gonna turn this a little bit. I'm gonna place my bacon on. I'm gonna cut it in half, just throw it on. Right? Just curl it. I could have done this a little bit earlier, potentially, but where am I? Boom. I like that, right? 2 pieces. Boom. We got about, actually, no time left. So that's been about 1 minute and 45 seconds. I'm gonna go back to the oven. I'm gonna pour these on. Can you see this, Chef? Not really.
A little bit, yeah.
No, dude, maybe I'll pull them out of here. Let's do this.
Yep.
Let's do this. I'm gonna pull this out of the oven for a second. So you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna turn the broiler off. Okay, and I'm gonna literally just see, I've got my bacon and my cheese on here. I'm gonna literally just pour the eggs on the yolks right on my pizza. Boom. Doesn't that look pretty? Now we're hoping, I'm gonna cook this for maybe another minute or 2, and that's all we're gonna need to get those eggs to set. Carefully launching this back in. Boom. At this point, I'm gonna go back to about 550 degrees because I think now it's fine. I just don't want that broiler on anymore because then in other words, the bacon and the crust will get too dark. But we find maybe another, in fact, I'm gonna time it. 90 more seconds. Should be almost doing the trick. Might take a little bit longer for those eggs to set. There was a lot of whites going on. All right, let's do some Q&A, Chef.
Did the pizza go on the top or bottom rack when you put it back in with the egg?
Top. I'm going one steel the whole way today. The top. I already have my coffee too.
Do you ever use a pizza screen?
Never. Nope, don't find it necessary. The only time I maybe, I don't even know I don't even know what you use a pizza screen for. Like I see that on the conveyor racks maybe inside a restaurant, but you don't need it at all for a baking steel pizza, not even in the least bit. Okay.
If the eggs are pre-cooked, when do they go on the pizza?
Right at the end, afterwards. So if I sous vide my eggs, I'm gonna literally take them, they'll be already set. I'm literally gonna crack them on right when my pizza comes out of the oven. And I can warm them up. If I did them like even a day in advance, I could put them in a water bath just to warm them up a little bit and then just crack them on. So they'll be still warm when they hit that pizza.
How do you cook your sous vide eggs?
That's a great question. What is it? They have, let's check this pizza first. We'll get back to that in 1 second. I'll bring the screen up here for you guys. Let's see what we're looking at here. On top, you guys see the eggs? They're almost done. They probably need another, like maybe 40 seconds or so, and they'll be completely set. We'll close this up. Just let them go for maybe just a few more seconds. I'm gonna just do 45 seconds on here. Don't forget. And then what we'll do is we're good. We'll remove it and we'll garnish it. In this case, with a little bit of sea salt and parsley. You can use cracked pepper, whatever you like to use. It's gonna be delicious. And those yolks will still be a little bit runny too. That's the goal. All right, and back to sous vide. Chef, what is it? God, it really depends.
I know it's Celsius. 63 Celsius is what we did at the restaurant.
Is that like 15 minutes maybe?
15, 20 minutes.
You can just sous vide that on Google, depending how you like your yolks. If you like them extra soft, you could do it, there's a scale basically. I think ours are like 15 minutes for some reason at 130 Fahrenheit. I'm just making up numbers right now, so check that. Let me check this pizza first too. Ooh, I like it. Good. You like that? Crust looks beautiful. Eggs are just about set. So now we can see our bacon and egg pizza. It's hard to see exactly. I might want to I like to use a little parsley on my eggs, just like if it was a diner. When we slice into this, those yolks are still going to be nice and runny, which is how I would like them if I was to eat. And our bacon, you can see, is super crispy on top because we seared it first for about a minute. Our bottom of our pizza is done beautifully. It's hot, and we're ready to go. Anybody want to join me for a little breakfast, bacon and eggs?
Did you use convection?
I use convection almost exclusively on our in our oven. I even put it back when I took it off boil, back to convection. That's just a fan that helps this thing blow around, stay nice and warm. You still, even with the convection, I'm still rotating my pizzas a little bit. It's important, but it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty awesome.
Can you use a little moisture mozz instead of fresh?
Yep, totally. Any kind of cheese. Fontina. I mean, you name it. Whatever you have. You don't need to run to the store. I just happen to have fresh mozz today. So I thought that would be a really good base cheese. If I had Fontina, that'd be nice. I could even grate some Parmesan at the end here too. I could add some sea salt. It's cracked pepper would be good on your eggs too. However you like them. So there's really no right or wrong answer. You scramble your eggs too. Why not? Different variations.
What kind of timer is that?
Great question. I don't know the brand. I got this on Amazon. I like it because it's magnetic, which is great, but also this dial spins pretty easy. You can see how easy it is for me to switch my time, sort of. And I just hit the button like that and it starts, sets it up. And I hit it again, so it's cool. Like $10 on Amazon. Get a few of them because I find sometimes they're not waterproof. If you're like me, I drop things. What else we got, Chef?
Do you damage the pizza peel when you slice on it?
Great question. And no. This is, in fact, I got another one here. These peels are awesome. It's made of cherry wood. We sell out of them pretty fast. They're very durable, okay? The rule of thumb is people don't like to cut on them. However, we are trailblazers and we cut on ours. And I have used these peels, Chef Craig and I, we have had over 200 pizza classes with these same peels. We cut on every single one of them. And they are fine. There are literally no problems. I don't even oil these like I should. In other words, you should care for them a little bit better. But even with that said, these things are awesome. Super durable. I recommend cutting on them because it's one less plate you need to wash. So for example, after I slice this pizza up, I'm going to just cut right on here and I'll clean it up. It'll be fine. What else do we have?
Why do you do a room temperature bulk ferment versus just a cold fermentation the whole time? Is there a difference in texture or taste?
That's a good question too. In fact, we're going to do another variation of our dough because it's coming up a lot. It is honestly, we say 24-hour ferment at room temp, then cold. Another version we have is just straight to cold. Okay, so we've got both those bases covered. A third version would be to room temperature for 4 or 5 to 12 hours, then cold. All of the above, none of them really make a difference. I haven't seen anything technically different about any of those. So in other words, you could even set it and forget it. I like to give it a little blast at room temperature because I think it's cool. I mean, it's the style that I love. I can smell the fermentation. I like the smell of bread. When it goes in the fridge, you're not going to get that. So, but scientifically, I don't think it matters when you're doing a long ferment. You do not want to go for too long. 2 or 3 days seems to be ideal. The glutens do break down over time. So if it's extended like 5 or 6 or 7 days, that dough is going to be really weak as far as having structure. So 2 or 3 days is ideal, cold. Did that answer that? Let's settle that.
What kind of ovens do you have?
Great question. These are monogram ovens. These are electric wall ovens. In fact, all wall ovens are electric, just for future reference. Then we have a monogram here, which is our gas range. You can see we've got our baking steel skinny griddle. I typically have my mini griddle, but someone borrowed it and didn't bring it back yet. Can you believe that? They loved it so much. And then inside here, I've got the Pizza Pros. You can see those 2 Pizza Pros inside. This is gas, which I love. Monogram, 6 burner. And then this is monogram, double wall oven. I love these because these doors open up. Super cool. Kind of fun. Anyway, that answers that.
What size are your delis?
These are 2-cup delis. 16 ounces. You can find these Ziploc Glad at the market, the kind with the blue twist-off cap, which are awesome. These we get at Restaurant Depot.
Do you notice anything different between water and beer in your dough?
Yes, totally. Flavors completely different. So you're adding beer, add your favorite beer into the dough. The way it proofs and ferments, kind of the same. Not a lot of differences there. You still need to add yeast, etc. The color is going to be a little darker depending on the beer. Obviously, the scent and the aroma, there's some different things going on, different flavor altogether. But one-for-one substitution works great.
Just about it.
All right, guys. Awesome. You rocked. Thank you. Any questions, just drop them in the, we'll be posting this again on YouTube at Baking Steel and our Facebook page. You can always ask questions. You can email us, direct message us on all the channels. We are here for you. Thank you, guys. Couldn't do this without you, so thank you. Thank you. Any requests for a class, let us know. We'll do our best to cover that subject. Awesome, guys. Thank you.